What's up, Star Wars fans? David Land here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Stormtrooper and Kylo Ren from the Walmart exclusive 3 3/4 inch Black Series line. These are action figures, but thankfully they are super articulated in the 3 3/4 inch scale. Collectors have been pining for these, especially from The Force Awakens, and thankfully Walmart and Hasbro struck a deal so that we have super articulated figures from the Star Wars The Force Awakens. And let me tell you, at the time of filming, we're 2 days away. This is actually the premiere day, so I'm going to have to stay off the internet. I'll probably still upload this, but I'm not going to be looking on the internet for fear of spoilers. But man, is this great. And it's great to have these figures, especially for someone of my age. I mean, some people are nostalgic for the 5 POA because they were the figures of their childhood. Well, guess what? For people from the prequel era, like myself, the super articulated or just articulated figures in general are the ones that are nostalgic for us. So for me, I am so glad to have these, and we will be comparing them side by side with the 5 POA counterparts. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is David Land on YouTube, and let's unbox these things. So let's take a look first at the Stormtrooper. You can see him in the box. You can also see my face. There is a little bit of artwork there on the side. It's really cool to kind of see these in a box, not like on a card back. It's really interesting. It's just different, and I actually kind of prefer the fact that they went with this. As you can see, the generic description of the Stormtrooper, I read it in the 5 POA review, which you can check out, but I've already read that. So let's take it out of its box. These are really easy to open. Again, different from a card back. And as far as I'm aware, these are you're able to reseal them, just as long as you cut that piece of tape there. And then, well, if you don't rip the box too badly, you can reseal it. But then you just pop it open, and out comes your Stormtrooper. So I'm gonna take him out of his plastic coffin off camera, and we're going to take a closer look at him. So here's our Stormtrooper out of the box. We're going to take a close look at him. Of course, he comes with his First Order blaster rifle, which as far as I can tell is pretty much the same as the one you get on the 5 POA figure. Here he is from the back. Some great black detail on there. It's fantastic to see, and you gotta love the leg articulation. He also comes with a new blaster pistol accessory, which you can see here. We have not gotten this before in the 3 3/4 inch line in any way, shape, or form, so that's really interesting to see. Also, you can see, like the 3 3/4 inch Stormtrooper, his blaster rifle plugs into his thigh there. And you can also exchange that. This blaster pistol, and we'll show it to you, also plugs in. It's really kind of cool that they made this little plug that you see here universal between the two blasters. Unfortunately, you can't plug the blaster pistol into his ankle here, or his shin, because that's the way it is in the film. But you know what? I'm going to give Hasbro a little bit of a pass here, because of the fact that it is, again, a smaller scale figure. Perhaps they could have done that on the Black Series 6-inch figure, which actually I don't own, but they could, you know, I'll give them a little bit of a pass because it would be probably pretty hard to do it here. So as you can see, there's the blaster rifle plugged into his leg. You can see the plug right here on the side, which I imagine is like a magazine or something in the movie. But then you can take his pistol here, and it goes right into the same slot. So what that does is allows, if you're army building these guys, it gives you some variety in the ranks. They can choose what weapon they want. A really cool feature. So I'm going to try and go over all the articulation on this guy as best I can, but I'm probably going to leave stuff out. So you've got a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders here. You've got not ball jointed elbows. You've got swivel elbows, but they also have a hinge. Then you've got the swivel hand with another hinge. This one goes in. And here's a little other problem. He has a little bit of a hard time holding his blaster rifle. The grip for some reason is a bit small and his hands are a bit wide. That's the same on this arm, except for you get an up and down swivel motion with this hand versus a side-to-side one with that. Makes for good two-handed blaster holding. Then you've got ball joints on the torso here, which is fantastic. No swivel. The ball joint is the only real chest articulation. Then you've got the, I believe these are ball jointed knees. Maybe not. Yeah, they are. They've got a, I don't want to be too rough with it, but you know. Then you've got the hinge and the swivel there on the knee. And then you've got the no ball joint here on the foot. You've just got the little ankle articulation. Unfortunately, you know, you can't get some of the Black Series, like the 6-inch. Yeah, see, for whatever reason, this joint's just stiff. But yeah, you go in and out, and then it's also ball jointed, which is fantastic. And then the same articulation for the knees and the feet. But yeah, you don't get some of the articulation that you do on the 6-inch Black Series stuff with this guy. But again, in the 3 3/4 inch scale, man, it's hard to say that this isn't a good deal. You know, in the packaging, the helmet looked a little wonky, especially compared to this guy, the 5POA Stormtrooper. But when you hold them side by side, I mean, it's just barely noticeable. As you can see, the sculpt detail, if I can get my hand out of the way, pretty much the same, though you get some extra paint applications there on his chest versus this one where you don't. And we go on to the back, and again, more paint applications. Just a finer detailed figure, this one, in every way from the 5POA Trooper. Obviously, the 5POA Trooper is good if you want a cheaply army build, but if you want your squad of Stormtroopers looking ready to go, double hand grip on their blasters, this is the way to go. So let's take a look at the second figure in the wave, Kylo Ren. Here's a guy that a lot of collectors, I'm sure, are keen on. Kylo Ren, where I'm sure we're about to find out a lot more about this character in The Force Awakens. And here he is on the box. I believe it's the same artwork that is on the 6-inch figure. Go down the side of the packaging. I definitely do like this packaging, like I said when I was showing it off for the Stormtrooper. And then you've got the generic description again, which I'm not going to read. And then you've got the same way of opening it, which is just cut a piece of tape, which I appreciate, especially considering, like, you know, the trend of like adult collector things being incredibly difficult to open. That is not the case with these, thank goodness. Thank goodness they didn't go like the blister pack route, because that is always annoying. So there's Kylo, as I almost knocked down my lighting, and we are going to take a look at him out of the box. He's already looking fantastic. Ah yes, here he is, the Darth Vader fanboy himself, Kylo Ren. It's kind of like a microcosm of what Star Wars fandom is, this character. I think he's going to be really interesting in the movie. And here he is from the back. I was a huge fan of the 5POA figure, but man, oh man, this one just blows it out of the water. Just incredible detail, and we're going to go over it. So as you guys know, this iconic, I dare say, lightsaber actually is much more detailed than the 5POA version. You can see that red line down it, which I believe is like a wire. Obviously this is a cobbled together piece, but it looks fantastic, and they did a great job modeling it. You also get his unignited lightsaber, which is great. It's an accessory that we haven't really gotten before. Is again in the 3 3/4 inch scale. Fantastic to see, and again, love it. And there's also a little slot here on his belt that I think you're supposed to be able to plug the lightsaber in. I could not get it to plug in there for the life of me. So I don't know if that's actually a feature or what, but I could not get it, unfortunately. But it's still there. Actually, the slot's right there. If you couldn't see it, I think you could because it's an HD video, but oh well. Now let's go over some of the details on Kylo. Like I said before, the 5 POA Kylo I thought was a good figure for 5 POA, but this one's far superior, the super articulated version. I mean, it's not even close. I think it's all new too. I originally thought this head sculpt here was the same. It is not. The hood is a bit further up his head. I believe it does turn, but you can't get it because of the tunic here, the cloak. That's a little bit disappointing, but that's all right. You've got the elbow and arm joints, pretty much the same as the Stormtrooper, except for I don't know if you have any articulation on the hand because he's got pretty small hands, or the wrist I should say, so it's just a swivel wrist. Then you've got a swivel waist joint here. I don't know if, well, his head turns a little bit, but I don't know if there's actually any like ball joint in there, and even if there were, it'd be very hard to move with the soft goods. Same articulation on the arms on this side of his body. Then you got soft goods. No soft goods up here, just soft good on the cloak. Then you've got the samurai tunic underneath here, and you've got ball jointed hips, and then you've got the standard articulation on the knees. You've also got the ankle articulation. They just swivel. If I could get it to go, I'm just moving the arm. Yep, swivel. But no, it's not like, it's no Black Series 6-inch focus. It's not like the Black Series 6-inch articulation, and it's the same on this leg. So, a really excellent figure, this Kylo Ren. Obviously one that the collectors have been pining for, and I believe that you got it. So let's go in and look at these two and give some final thoughts. So there you have it, two really, really good figures. It's amazing to me that either Hasbro or Walmart believes that they're the only retailer that wants to take a chance on these. Very strange to me. I mean, they're just great looking figures. I mean, and again, as someone who grew up with like the super articulated clones and Jedi, I mean, like, this is like the standard for me, and it's strange to see these figures kind of relegated to exclusive status, at least for the time being. Rey, Finn, and Poe are supposed to be coming out very soon as well, so hopefully I'll be able to review those when they come out. But again, man, what great figures. Again, even at the $13 price point that Walmart's asking for them, totally worth it. And support this line because, you know, you're helping the collectors out, you're helping Walmart out, and you're, you know, for supporting this line to continue. So I mean, again, just fantastic figures. A shame that they are only exclusive to Walmart, but you know what? I am happy that they got out into the wild because they are masterpieces. So thank you. Easy for me to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Force Awakens Star Wars reviews. I'm sure there'll be more coming out after the movie has aired. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and may the Force be with you.